give you a background on my family in case you people are fucking wondering. My grandmother was walking 5 more plus miles a day until she was in her late 90s. The last time I saw the woman who I thought for sure was my grandmother, essentially, instead of remembering like the last one I ran into, essentially, I'm just hoping, essentially, that this woman was. But it's actually a woman who was with her in a retirement home. Affiliated with these fucking people like my father is, essentially. They just fucking replace trash to get moved out of the property. I'm pretty sure, however, that I saw my grandmother recently. Now, not recently, like in the last 8 years or so. That would have put her somewhere over 100 years old. Okay? My great-grandmother died when she was about 100 years old. Alright? If you say that the year is presently 2021, then I'm just turning 40. However, I seem to remember this time period already passing. After enough essential reminders, enough shit pops back in here. The only reason I don't continue to remember is because they continually make excuses to lose my stuff, lose my videos, lose this, lose that. Sometimes they give it to other people, and those people recreate them, apparently. I don't want them to recreate my shit. I want to keep it, essentially. I don't write something because I don't want somebody else to take the shit, okay? They used to do that, essentially, whenever I was stuck with them out in fucking Colorado at points. I'd write something like a simple fucking journal that didn't even fucking mention anything because I didn't know at that particular point. Or write a fucking short story or something like that, and the fuckers will come along and steal it. Steal their time, essentially, to go through all the fucking notes and shit that I remade this fucking time, essentially. Some of which are cut off fragments, because I never got to fucking, when I was younger, or whenever I was more enthusiastic about them, I never got a chance to actually fucking make them into anything, is the problem. Dude, I just created the same neural networks, one of which was originally a working model that I just decided not to go through with anymore because it doesn't reach my expectations. The other, essentially, it's like I didn't remember that a lot of things, I'll tell you something I remember right now. I remember reading the last Discworld novel by Terry Pratchett whenever I was at the starting point, essentially, where I am. But when I was back there, I didn't remember initially that I'd fucking remembered it or read it. And someone even so much went so far as to comment on it, almost crazily. Well, it's kind of gone from being kind of helpful to being more terrifying than anything else, because I don't know what the fuck is going on at the beginning. That's the problem. These people have gone out of the way because they think they're covering things up. They're covering themselves up. I can't tell you the number of people who I saw starting out in this fucking shit, essentially, that I have seen again recently. And dude, they are aged appropriately. Some of them were like in their 30s, and now they look like what I would consider to be looking like they were in their 50s. Which means, instead of just, a little bit of lining here, and some hair essentially missing and so on and so forth, or a little bit of gray hair, which people can get in their 30s, so on and so forth in their 40s. They are heavily fucking lined. My people, quote unquote, age really well in comparison to other people. If you believe it's 2021, I just turned 40 for the second or third fucking time. If you believe it's the year it probably is, I'm somewhere in my 50s at least. At least. At this particular point. Now, I don't believe that I was surgically altered. There'd be scars and shit, right? But there have been people who were in the fucking same group as me, essentially, who got all wrinkly and everything, and then they went ahead and they fucking, did something to stretch their fucking faces up, so on and so forth. Now, right now I am a little overweight, which probably helps with the youthful look, you know what I mean? But not that overweight at this particular point. Not too much tell a little bit, I suppose. Like, you know, with the lines and shit essentially forming right here, you know? Which this camera kind of fucking sucks, you know? It really does. Maybe if I sit back a little bit, shade my face essentially from the light, you can kind of tell a little bit of, I don't know, it's that webcam magic at this particular point. Same thing my fucking girlfriend used to fucking complain about at one point. She said it made her look so much better than she actually was. I don't know. I'm tired of this. I want this to be over. There's no reason for me to be fucking stuck with these people. Especially in the same place. I had a mind that was pretty analytical, still is. Pretty creative. Or was. Now I'm not as interested in things anymore because they just keep stealing shit, you know? Even if essentially, I wasn't like trying to be a writer or anything, I'm a programmer by trade, you know? About a mid-level one. You know, I've created a few things that are fucking like business oriented, and I've created a few little things essentially on my own, you know, and learned a lot about actual freaking valid application developer theory and things like that, and best practices. But like, you know, so being a writer wasn't really what I liked. You know, to be honestly, I would have preferred to like work on some kind of domestic law enforcement or intelligence oriented problem, to be entirely honest. Or work in foreign affairs, personally. Or work in some supporting role in the military, not infantry and shit, because I don't think I would have lasted for fucking shit, to be entirely honest. Just be another fucking casualty, to be entirely honest. They drop me in fucking Iraq or shit like that. But, you know, I did go to the Air Force, I just didn't stay there very long. I did work for the Army freaking National Guard at one particular point. I just didn't stay with them very long. I did work for the Navy at one particular point. I just didn't stay with them for a very long time. I got moved around a little bit. And now I realize that there's some question as to what the hell that means, you know. It wouldn't help to say essentially the truth that I've been to federal offices in Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Denver, Portland, a few other fucking places, and that this was in the supposed present, you know, as they keep on rolling everything back, and didn't really get a whole lot of help in those places. In fact, I got kind of the opposite of it. I reported this to the FBI. I reported what my father did to the FBI, what he did to me, the shit that I know about him, and so on and so forth. The shit that I know from his fucking colleagues they're trying to ship me back to. If the cops send me back there, they're sending me to my death, is what they're doing. They're sending me to my death, or they're sending me to be imprisoned and fucking erased again, and fucking dragged all the way back here again. You know? There are certain people who they've like apparently slated for dying of fucking drug overdoses and shit who just continuously come back to life. That fucking works, you know. I'm so fucking tired of this crap. I want this to be over and I want to go home. Wherever the fuck that is now, because it certainly ain't here anymore. I don't know, unless I want to be stuck in this twisted carousel with fucking whores essentially that I don't fuck because I'm afraid they're gonna fucking be handing each other little fucking kids and acting like essentially they're justifying themselves in doing so and getting stuck longer, so they spend more and more of their lives doing the